So hey guys, and welcome back. And do you see anyone play Terra now? Do you see anyone play Zerg now? No sir, no sir. What a what a great matchup to be left with, guys. I love it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to have this. So we are gonna have PvP yet again. It's Garchuu versus Artanisph. And even though I'm memeing the matchup itself, I'm really proud of all these players actually making it all the way to the tail end. So it seems like we are gonna be getting into our matches, and we are getting into our maps as of the moment. So we are just fixing that one up real quick. But this has been a long and perilous road here between Artanisph and Garchuu. Garchuu facing off against Exoskeletor there in a 2-1, and it was pretty spicy. Garchuu actually winning out twice 2-1, so really 2 times on the ropes, really making it happen. But Artanisph in the meantime, he had that huge matchup against Dion, and well, he was just able to run on through, taking down Sneezy Dwarf as well, one of the strong contenders honestly from the previous quarantined tournaments. But hey, so we are gonna be getting into Eternal Empire first. Again, seems like that truly is the standard of the StarCraft PH scene, and it's interesting that we're just getting the same old maps into this one. That's a pretty interesting one. Like, we've had the same map pool almost three, 4 times in a row, and then it just becomes like, hey, we're gonna do this again, hey, we're gonna do this again, hey, we're gonna do this again. But I guess this time we do change it up for map number 2, so we are gonna see Nightshade yet again. It's interesting that these players do have the same kind of map bans. It just probably goes to show that the community is so close to one another, and these are basically the maps that they have practiced to begin with. So it seems like our bans, though, no one really liking the new maps, honestly. Like, I've noticed that the new maps are the ones that are mostly banned. And of course, Zen. People really don't like Zen in terms of playing it, and I get it. So our bans are Golden Wall, Purity, Industry, Zen, and what is that? Simulacrum. So Simulacrum yet again. So it really is, in terms of bans, you either get Simulacrum as ban or Nightshade as ban, and then everything else is pretty standard. Everdream is the one everyone likes because it is a very standard map. It is a very easy to understand map, and there isn't really too many antics to begin with. And it's pretty defendable. I like Everdream too. I like Everdream and how it plays, and that is going to be our map number 3. But here you go, guys. This is going to be our BO3 brackets for this one. PvP action coming our way yet again on Eternal Empire. It is always Eternal Empire, and it is always PvP, and it is always the way to go. Nightshade LE gonna be next on the list, and Everdream, if we need a map number 3, gonna be the one we can dream on. So it seems like we are going to be getting started, and it is Garchuu versus Artanisph. These two players having a bunch of things to honestly prove, and looking to really just get on to the podium, get on to that top 2, and make it over to try and win out here in the Gold to Diamond Quarantined Tournament bracket. Now again, we do have a third prize, honestly. I mean, not third prize. We have a second prize for the first placer. So there's 2 prizes. So for any first placer in the Gold to Diamond bracket, they will be basically upgraded for the next tournament. If they are not masters as of yet, and we get quarantine tournament number 3 or whatever in our series, then they are invited automatically to the masters bracket regardless of their SR. This also basically allows a new cycle of a champion to come on in, and at the same time look to see how the progress of that player is gonna unfold. So hopefully we all see shenanigans tomorrow in our bracket, and we will be checking out which one of these 3 remaining Protoss players is gonna be the one joining the Masters side. And as we said before, PvP yet again. Let's get it on, let's get it done, and let's get into our other semi-final match. So welcome back, guys, to the Quarantined Tournament number 2 by SCPH, sponsored by AKG Games, and it is another Protoss versus Protoss. I'm gonna look real quick into the bracket. How many PvPs did we do on the stream? We did 1. We did 2. We did 3. We did 4. I think we did 4. I think we did 4, guys. 4 PvPs. And this stream. And how many streams did we do? How many streams did we do? How many matches did we do? 6. This is the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty ridiculous. That's like half. That's like half of them. Half of them in one race. Why are we doing this, guys? Why are we doing this? But, well played to all these Protoss players. Well played to how they've done things. And it's very interesting that we did not get any of the gimmicky maps where we are getting Protoss versus Protoss, which is literally the cheese-centric capital of the world. So introducing first, on the top right of this wonderful matchup that we call PvP, it is the Aqua Protoss of Artanisph. And his opponents, on the bottom left this time, it is gonna be the survivor himself, the Red Protoss of Garchuu. So does he got you, or is he the brother or sister of Pikachu? Garchuu sounds like a really buff Pikachu that just wants to beat you up or something like that. And Garchuu right now looking for the scout, making sure that there isn't going to be any proxy Artanisph in the meantime. Gonna be mixing things up. It's a Sentry and a Stalker together compared to the double Stalker opening here for Garchuu. So he is looking for a little more damage, double bumping that one out. And Artanisph doing that cheeky little thing where you put a pylon in the way and force the units to go for the hits instead. So Artanis, of course, can go for the cancel to just get those minerals on back. And it really is just something you do on PvP to begin with. Artanisph though, looking like he's playing tower defense, he's creeping on closer and closer to try and get a natural going. But in the meantime, more stars being built here in the PvP. You need to focus on that army if you really can't find out whatever your opponent is doing in the first place. But hey, see how this one is gonna be underway, as here comes Artanisph. He's just scouting around thoroughly, looking to make sure that there is no nook nor cranny that he doesn't see. Like, honestly, can miss something there, but it is what it is. We got Selnaga Tower in position and in the acquisition of Artanisph just to see any kind of probes looking for the transition. In the meantime, Garchuu right now playing on that one base, gonna be building a pylon and shield battery in behind to just make sure that these drops will sustain these probes for a little more. Probe facility as well already set on up. Immortal is going to be going into the field, but here for Artanisph, he's going to be the one lagging behind in terms of that Immortal. And honestly, if Garchuu decides to go for the attack right here right now, he can really put in the hurt against the opposition. Scouting Phoenix, try and look around. Hallucination on points, sees the Immortal into play, and this will really put a little bit of a pedal to the metal here for Artanis. Now, he has to go for the Immortal sometime soon just to really counteract the opposing Immortal. There you go, it's going to be coming online. Information is power, and information is truly the name of the game in many, many different outlets. But the Sentries right now working together with the Stalkers and the Immortal, standard composition here and now from the Protoss. This is like the new thing. It's newer though, like compared to like Charge Lot Archon. It's a more armored mechanical take on it, and I like how it has utility force fields to keep your Stalkers and Immortals safe. Stalkers would blink, allow them the ability, Guardian Shield to mitigate some damage, and Hallucination for the basically this, just flying all around trying to see what's going on. And I think about it, sure it is pretty gas intensive, but that's what the two assimilators at the very start is for. Now, double pumped upgrades here for Garchuu. We have seen the power of our upgrades in our earlier semi-final. That was really the strength there of Mr. Bane himself, just overrunning the opposition. Didn't matter with the shield batteries to begin with. But Phoenix now gonna go on down. Garchuu really just trading it up and looking to get some information against his opponent as well. In the meantime, here comes an Adept at the same time with some Stalkers and these Sentries. Artanisph gonna be going on the prowl. Does have a little bit of the advantage, but the home court is in favor of Garchuu. He has to bring a Warp Prism just to make sure that he's going to reinforcement cycles at the same time, at the right times. But this might be a big clash into the low ground here on Eternal Empire. The Stalker is going to be creeping on forward to the edge of that part. Phoenix right now flying on in as well to get the scouting information one more time. And there we go with the beam, looking for the connection. Sees the double pump upgrades, and will Artanisph still go on this? Because he doesn't have upgrades whatsoever, they're not being built whatsoever, and at the same time, if Garchuu is able to stall just a little bit more, well, he's gonna have that +1/+1 advantage that he is looking for. Immortals right now onto the south side, and here comes the hit already. Garchuu has to be very careful with the micro right now, but he's gonna lose an Immortal into the front line. There we go with the shots already. Focus Spark connecting. That's a huge hit there. Courtesy of Artanisph, beautiful force field right now, trying to get the block on. It really is a matter of time right now here for Artanisph. If he's unable to get the security to get these kills, well, the +1 will be such a big game changer. But the force field absolutely huge. Immortal in behind here right now with the cascade going for the shots, but that's another Immortal gonna go down in favor of Garchuu. Counter kill perhaps, 1 HP on that Immortal, literally surviving, literally breathe on it. It's getting some really good DPS, but it has done its job, packed a punch, bought some time, and the +1 gonna be online right now for Garchuu. Artanisph though isn't really aware of this. He's still keeping on with the pressure, going on with the fight. Good war percent right here right now, courtesy of Garchuu, and Artanisph taking control of this low ground. The Untitled just still dancing along, pylons right now, and GG called by Garchuu. Interesting GG. He had the +1/+1. The problem is, he lost that Immortal very early on to that force field. He needed to stall with that. He needed to stall with all his units to get that +1 advantage, and he could have stemmed the tide there. But unfortunately, he just had the disadvantage. Artanisph micro and macroing a lot better. Macro in behind there from Artanisph with 42 workers. And that is just all she wrote. Could have been a chance though with a 1 HP Immortal, but sometimes the hope like that just gets snuffed out. And Artanisph with our first victory here in our other semi-final match. So another one bites the dust, and that is gonna be Artanisph with a victory there on Eternal Empire. So it really seems like it is his map to shine on. And Eternal Empire, you know, we talked about the dust for quite a while. We talked about how it really kicks you in the face, but that was just Artanisph having the right time, figure things out, and really going on in when he had the opportunity instead of waiting. He waited a little longer, and his opponent was able to get a little more army with that +1/+1. Well, that could have been a absolutely huge game changer to begin with, and that was very, very close there. But no cigar apparently for Artanisph. Right now we are going to be moving into Nightshade next on the list, but here you go guys, quick little show of our results. Let's move on into map number 2. It's going to be the Twilight Jungle one more time, Nightshade LE, and all the pink and purple, all that gas really spreading on over, and looking to give us another solid matchup in this upcoming PvP. So what have you guys thought so far of the tournament? Have you guys thought about that we have been getting PvP all throughout? Like, I would love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say that we are getting this PvP action. Are you expecting more cheese? Are you expecting more standard play? And what have you really basically seen throughout the tournament? But anyway, let's get it on and let's get it done. Into another one we go into Quarantine number 2, semifinals number 2. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we have Artanisph looking for the killing blow, looking to secure his date into the grand finals. Now, people had touted Artanis to be one of the better ones, one of the best ones actually in this bracket. In that matchup against Dion, with one of the biggest, like, low-key backstage. You gotta stream this one, you gotta check this one out. We expect them to make it to fight each other, and it didn't really disappoint. It really goes to show that Artanisph has been able to improve a lot and is looking to really make his mark as he has before. In the meantime, there for Dion, big shout outs to Dion right there. Can't wait to see him in action yet again, as well as the rest of the tournament crew and players. But hey, this is Quarantine number 2, and what is the tournament without an introduction? Here on the bottom right of Nightshade LE, it is the Aqua Protoss of Artanisph. And his opponents, right here, right now, top left, red Protoss. It's gonna be the guy who has survived this deficit, who has really survived a situation like this, and who has really survived to make it all the way to the semifinals. It is Garchuu! So if we interview Garchuu, will we just hear him say Garchuu, Garchuu? Or will we hear him say Immortal, 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 save the Immortal as much as possible? You know, those are the questions we gotta ask sometimes, and here and now on Nightshade, we'll be questioning what they're gonna be doing. So we do have our standard low wall formation thing on the ramp, making sure that Artanisph is just gonna do it again. It's like, hi, you stay outside. You stay outside. No. Bad probe. Bad probe. Stay outside. Stay outside with your owner, with the adept. Stay outside. And he's gonna let us build. He actually let it build. Man, spending 100 minerals just to really stifle Garchuu and his mobility. I guess it works for something. I guess it works indeed. For Artanisph though, gonna be going on to that low ground, setting up that pylon, looking to set up by the natural. In the meantime, the warp gate gonna be an interesting component right now, as Artanisph will get supply blocked, of course, because of that pylon going down on to the base of Garchuu. Speaking of Garchuu, trying to make it through as well, really slowly but surely carving a path to that expansion. You gotta keep up, you gotta keep on going, and right here, right now, both of these players having to decide when to actually go on. A Death Frenzy though. Here for Garchuu. And oh, what is this in behind? So, Templar Archives into the Dark Shrine. When you're behind in the match, you gotta go for that Dark Shrine, guys. You gotta go for that Dark Shrine. I'm a big believer and a big lover of the deity itself. And in the meantime, we'll see how this Chrono Boost is gonna be utilized in the first place. Like, I haven't really been paying attention too much of... Oh, cancels! Huge cancels there, because Artanisph will be able to get the scouting information. That's highly unfortunate, actually, because Garchuu wanted to be cheeky with the DT. It doesn't happen, and right now, here comes the Shades, will get blocked up by Shield Battery. Good micro there from Artanisph, getting a probe in position just to get things done. And it really goes to show the scouting information there used very, very well by Artanisph. Garchuu again gonna try to go for it. It's just not gonna work out, my friend. It just so pesky, putting it at the forefront. And these stars right now on the high ground yet again. Free shots right now onto the retreating Adepts, and Garchuu looking very desperate to really get those Shades onto the other side. Now for Garchuu, he is looking to play some Blink Stalker as Artanisph is giving chase the normal way. And here we go with the brawl. Star step right here right now. Stalker still with the advantage. Go with the chase, and that is gonna be a kill onto that hit squad. Garchuu unable to really get anything done. He was forced to get a cancel onto Dark Shrine, and that's highly unfortunate, honestly. If he didn't get scouted, well, they'll be forced to be reckoned with, that's for sure. But here we go again. Another base onto another side. Here on the top right, Garchuu gonna be looking to cosplay a 3-player map here on Nightshade LE. Artanisph is having none of it. He's just still keeping on up with the economy, trying to bust it down, actually, that Shield Battery, just to make sure he can get out alive, and as well as support these workers transitioning on into greater pastures. Anyway though, Blink Stalker gonna be in the cards here for Garchuu. We'll see if the micro will be a big difference maker, especially keeping those Stalkers in position in the first place. Anyway though, here comes more and more, and Artanisph right now. And we're still looking to play the saturation game. Now onto the second base is pretty safe. It really only has to deal with drop play as well as the aerial units flying on around. In the meantime, here comes Garchuu right now, ready with 3 bases, and the only thing I can think of is just the fake that he only has to, the fake that it is just how it is. But anyway, Adepts now will get spotted. Garchuu trying to give Artanisph a little more to bite on. And this time, it's going to be a clean mop-up. Doesn't need a mom, doesn't need a wall. They are just there in position. Here comes trouble. My name is Artanisph, and he's a little bit on the Nexus right now. Going over to the left-hand side. Does he actually avoid this? The Warpers are gonna get caught, and Artanisph is gonna go for the brawl! Blink Stalker with the assassination there! Able to get the dodge out. And that is a huge one there from Garchuu. This prevents any kind of reinforcement cycles whatsoever. This will force Artanisph to play on the inside, play on his point, play on his side. Really waiting for that Warp Prism to come on back before he can go for a fight yet again. Still though, here for Garchuu, looking to just keep on up with a little bit of that population, adding things up, making sure that we got a little bit of variety here. And yeah, Garchuu having the high temp as well, having the Zealot, going for some Archons right here, right now, going for that Tal'Darim. And Garchuu even looking around the map yet again, all the way to the south-hand side. It seems like, if Garchuu, that everything is hidden in something. He has to find, he has to figure things out, and this might be it. This might be him making it over to the main base. Shots on keeping on coming. Blink Stalkers facing off against one another. Absolute nostalgia between our two players. It seems like the Blink Stalker upgrade is just such an essential part of playing the PvP, using the movement, using all these opportunities. And Artanisph right now, looking to find one himself. He's gonna go for this Elucidate the Phoenix yet again. He knows he was able to get some really good damage against the opposition. And what's gonna work into this one has to be teamwork, as more and more of these gateways are coming online. Dude. Still though, for the boost in those warp gates, really allowing more and more of these cycles. And again, here we go this time, Garchuu. You gotta make it work. Went behind Dark Shrine. Not even too behind. I don't think he's behind. He's on 3 base right now. He should be pretty even, or maybe even ahead by this point. But well, when in doubt, whenever you want, whenever, whatever, whoever, whysoever, just play. Just play that one. Play those DTs. As here comes the recall yet again. We've seen this before, recalling a few probes just to finish up that saturation. Very interesting usage. Thor's fragging on that. Here comes the shots yet again. Garchuu trying to scout out with the Adept. But it's just gonna see that Nexus come on up. Artanisph. We're really fending that one off one more time. Still here for Garchuu. It really is going to be a slow and steady burn until the Dark Templar do come out. They will have to take a while, they will have to get in position. But it feels like Garchuu is more than happy to make it work with. Anyway though, still on the defensive end. Artanisph refuses to go on the attack. He's a little behind on that worker count due to the fact that third base there from Garchuu has gone up and running earlier on. But I feel like the big deal right now will be wherever the DT come in the first place, as there you go, the slice and dice action. Observer going to be absolutely necessary. He needs to build one right here, right now. Because it's looking nigh unstoppable in this point until they get destruction because of that Observer in position. Anyway though, more and more of these Archons looking to float on forward. This might be a big fight here and now. What are the upgrades tabs showing us? +1 here for Artanisph. He does have that 10 army supply disadvantage though. Be very interesting to see how this one's gonna pan out. Archons right now gonna be out in front, literally vaporizing this pylon. And onto another base we go right here, right now. Trying to get in position, trying to find a way to really answer back. But hey, Zealot's apparently the way to go. Artanisph gonna be setting on up into the foreground. In the meantime, these rocks are getting blown to bits, and honestly an opportunity here to go onto the north hand side. In this instance though, Artanisph is holding back. He doesn't want to go for the fight, he's expecting something big to come. In this instance, here comes the major engagements. Zealots fighting each other. Stalker's gonna be there as well. Archons right now going for the zap up on top. And it seems like this is Artanisph getting a cleave that he needs. Garchuu in the meantime still fighting for his life. But look at that force field set on up, destroying everything and anything. Good cascade here for Artanisph. Both sides losing members left, right, and center. But at the same time, you can see the advantage here now for Artanisph. As there you go. And again, really cheeky stuff here enough for Garchuu. and it's just not panning whatsoever. It's just a big upgrade advantage right now, and Artanisph is completely on point with his defense. Slow and steady though, apparently winning the race, and apparently here for the Protoss, getting to that 200 is all that matters. What was the longest game you guys have ever had in StarCraft? I remember my longest game ever was around like 35 minutes in the LOTV patch. Anyway, here for Garchuu. Getting into the middle line. But Artanisph already. Oh, whoa, blow up! Bro, please don't blow up your own units. Bro, those are friends, not foes. Those are friends, not foes. The rocks are foes, you can say that. And now it is gonna be an opening made by Artanisph. He can smell blood. He is out for the water. And is looking to really pounce on his opponents. Huge number here for Artanis. And another one for Garchuu. Another big brawl, courtesy of these two Protoss players, looking to move the push. And here comes trouble. By the map already. Void Red right now up on top just to get the zone on. Anyway though, Garchuu still keeping things up. And now +3 coming online for Artanisph. In the meantime, Artanis had decided to actually go for the drops up on top, be as surprising as can be, and it's going to be a big fight here. And now Garchuu using his +1 to a pretty solid degree, but at the same time, that's +2 right here, right now for Artanisph. So it's going to be all about positioning in this instance. Knock knock. Garchuu is here, and he has brought in lots of his entourage, really fighting Artanisph on these funnels and looking so good. This fort base under a lot of duress, advantage right now on the armor count. Gotta be Valorant. Such a back and forth motion in this matchup. Neither side really wanting to commit, neither side really wanting to push. And it's all about pokes right here, right now, with the Warp Prism. So it seems like in a matchup like this, it really boils down to whoever makes a crazy mistake, whoever boils down to getting the kills first, whoever boils down to not getting kills first. Really giving the chase. Artanisph, it's all about drops right now. It's all about getting in position to just distract his opponent. But the issue right now with Artanis is he's going for these drop plays. He's going to find out what his opponent is up to, but he doesn't really see the bulk of the army. It's just so easy to stop in the first place. And for Artanisph, he has to stop wasting that army count to try and get something a little bit else, to try and get some different units. And though the push gonna be coming to shove. And here comes the tug of war yet again. A lot of deaths right now. Anyway, it's the proxy pylon. And Artanisph, does he know that that is there? Yes, he does. Gonna be looking to take that one down. 5 bases right now. Seems like these two players have heard my pleas and gotten us a macro-based game. But so far in terms of macro, it really has just turned into a situation where both sides is refusing to attack. But as I say that, here comes Garchuu. Almost ×2 on that army count. Gonna be a huge astronomical lead as well. This is gonna be the base going on down yet again. More and more now. That's Artanisph beating the back. Shield Battery is doing such a good job in the funnel, making a pretty big difference. Blink on forward. Artanisph really going for the push, sacrificing some probes for that one. But hey, still trying to keep things up. On to the high ground we go yet again. And this just reminds me of the old school replays we've been getting from SCPH. It's just like you had Sentry and Stalkers versus Roaches and Zerglings was pretty much it. It looks like the same thing, but only with a lot more color. Here for Garchuu, he's playing that Archons. Here for Artanisph, he's playing the Archons as well. As I said before, it really is just a matter of positioning right now. Neither side wants to give, neither side wants to actually go for that one. And it'll be playable though as soon as it wins. These Archons. Going balls of energy, honestly. Just looking to really impose. And now with Artanisph all done with the +3, he's actually going to go for shields. He's actually going to go for +1 onto the armor as well. And going to catch out whatever this Garchuu is trying to do there. Now Garchuu also has all these zealots for some reason on the left side. Going to be looking to get for the run on in later on. And in the meantime, still, Garchuu backing on that. And we are getting a pretty long game, actually. How to win. How to win, indeed, from these two players. Someone needs to go for decisive blow, and apparently, that's going to be one for the record books. 13 going on down. Artanisph PH has brought in the Dark Templar as well. And interesting enough, he's even going to go for the blink, looking to pesky, looking to really get into lines that you never expect. The full cannon now that we set on up just to be able to check things. There you go. This base on the top right gonna go down, and it seems like Garchuu gonna be sending out another wave just to clear out some space. 176 to 191. We are finally coming to the crescendo, ladies and gents. We are finally coming into the parts where this is gonna be the 200 marker, and I really can't wait to see what kind of big fight this is gonna be. We haven't been able to see a matchup like this. We haven't been able to see an engagement like this from our two Protoss players, and the real question is who will be the one who bails out first. For Artanisph PH, he has the numbers. He is going for that push. Garchuu in the meantime looking to defend, but he has those formations. So much gas to work with in so little time. And right here, right now, Artanisph PH not paying attention to the front of his army. Shadow Strike though, gonna be next on the list. Giving those Dark Templar blink, gonna be a good way to navigate. And it seems like Garchuu knows that the DT are there, but at the same time they might get surprised that this is coming. Finally the blow up comes, blinking on forward, taking care of those cannons. But hey, the DT just packing the punch that they need. Always an opening made by those cloaked units. In the meantime though, here comes the serve yet again. And here on Nightshade, it is really turning into quite a solemn, yet quite a fair. It's all these Archons right now, bringing in the bulk. For Garchuu, he's gonna do the same. And we are finally looking at each other. We are trying to see the red versus blue. We are trying to see who's going to be moving on to the grand finals. This is only the second semifinals, guys. This is only the second match in the semifinals. And we are going to need Artanisph PH to actually take the victory, unless Garchuu will be looking for the revenge match. But hey, it's time to check your behind. Let's check in to your sides and check out what we're doing. Really trying to come in formation, really trying to go for the push, and in this instance is gonna be the brawl of the psionic shockwaves. These Archons really brawling for the lives, really fighting as much as possible. Artanisph PH though going for the cycles, Garchuu gonna do the same. And who will have the advantage here? It's a matter of upgrades, it's a matter of what they have. It's +3/+3 versus +3/+2 and +2. Maybe a small one here and now for Artanisph PH, but he needs to keep steady to keep things alive. It's not happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's not happening at all. I would love to see something different here from our two players, because we are literally seeing them fight off with the same thing over and over again. Not gonna lie, guys. Not gonna lie. I feel like every single time I see Artanisph PH and Garchuu right now clash, I'm going back in time. I have to check sometimes, like, what's the time right now? Did I fall asleep? Did I skip a day? Did I miss? Did I dream about something? We are 21 minutes in right now. Nightshade has literally turned into the Twilight Zone, and Artanisph PH knows he has to back on out because there's a big army here from Garchuu. He has finally gotten enough of these Colossi to be able to back a punch onto the Zealots charging on in. In the meantime, Artanisph PH will go for the mirror. trying to get the extended thermal lance, but Garchuu is gonna be happy to say, I was here first, I was able to come on over, and I'm saying knock 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 on your door, telling you that I am here to just go for the reckoning. Colossus though in behind, not gonna be as perky as can be. But Hansi is still beating that one back. Garchuu having double the army, really just trying to shut down the space, but it's just not happening. Wall move here from Artanisph. Another way to defend, another way to stop things. But Garchuu now realizing the situation, waking on up, and taking care of this base yet again. Shots now keeping on coming, and these zealots cleaving a path. One base finally gonna go down. Artanisph running out of money, running out of army. And this is looking really good here for Garchuu. We have seen so much expansions right now on Nightshade. We have seen so many ways to go. But we have seen this match actually go the longest of the long hauls. Onto the bottom left right here right now. Really trying to just cleave a path of destruction. Really just trying to make sure that the sources of income are going to be done and dusted. And even with the foot cans in position, well... Safety zone. My name is Artanisph. And this whole south side of the map really is to call his home. Here right now for Garchuu. He lives in the Wild West. And you know what they do to the great Wild West? Just looking to shut this one down. Blow up the ramp. Make an opening. And on to the point we go. Artanisph trying to retreat. Zouts in the meantime being charged on and yet again looking to find this fight into the front line. But honestly, these zealots are just basically calamaris waiting to get fried. Speaking that one, there you go with the Colossi yet again. Find the angles, find the shots, find the range. A little bit of action here with the DT. But hey, here for Garchuu. He's just heavily in the lead. How many workers have died actually? Let's look at the counts. 210 to 194. So Artanisph just in behind on that one. Army and workers fly pretty even here and now for Artanisph. But it really isn't meaning much in the scheme of things as no one's gonna go for the attack finally though. Here we go again! Can someone just bring in the reckoning? But both sides are just so unsecure about what they're trying to do, and they are very insecure and trying to get the fight on. You can't really force it out or you will be the one who gets punished instead, and it has turned into truly the stalling game of our series. Let's fight right now onto the western side of Artanisp's base. Garchuu gonna be looking for the pokes yet again. Still keeping things up. All about that concave, all about looking to find a way back. And if Garchuu takes this, guys, we are still gonna see this matchup. We are still gonna see PvP. And we are gonna have PvP no matter what in the finals. Still though, these poor probes gonna get caught long distance mining and they are just gonna get cooked up yet again. It is such a solid atmosphere in Nightshade. It really fits the nature of this map. And what can these two teams better? What can the two players do better right now? What have they not unlocked yet? Seems like Stargate is not something they do want to play. I would be surprised if they actually went for some carriers or for some Tempests. And in the meantime, well, DTs even. Still keeping things on. Garchuu right now finally gonna get that last space in the middle. Big shoutouts to everyone right now tuning on in for this long game. And at the same time, big shoutouts to everyone who will be watching and participating to tomorrow's Masters Plus tournaments. Of course as well, things wouldn't be possible without AKG Games viewing for the sponsorship as well as the rest of the SCPH community. If you guys want to check out, use those commands to get the links to join the community, check out whoever's been helping us out, as well as check out our sponsor who is really looking forward to it. But hey, +3, +3, +2. The most interesting part is Garchuu does not go for shield upgrade. He doesn't care about that upgrade, he doesn't want to use it, but Artanisph is surviving just a little more with it. I think he doesn't ever have a significant armor count. And here comes the Thermal Lances yet again. Seems like though this might be the beginning of the end, as this is such a hard pushback here from Garchuu to Artanisph onto the corner right here, right now. We are almost at the 30-minute mark, but this might be it. As the Colossi going down, the armies are obliterated. There's nothing left to try and contest. There's nothing left to try and survive. And this is gonna be looking to be how the end of this matchup. It's Garchuu with the victory. We'll be taking map number 2. And that was such a long affair. Not gonna lie, guys. Those clashes kept on going. Kept on going, 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 and kept on going. Can't believe we are down to a third map, and I can't believe that that match really went long haul. It ended up with Colossi really calling it. Really just being the biggest piece of the puzzle. And that is just a victory right there as Nightshade LE taken by Garchuu. It was a pretty solid show from the red Terran, and he was just able to keep the advantage for so long. And that was it. That was the show. So in the meantime, we'll just quickly show you guys the results. And we will be right back for a 3-minute break, just to make sure our players are all A-okay, just to make sure I'm A-okay. And this is still the Garchuu versus Artanisph series. Don't go away. PvP has been an interesting time, to say the least. So hello guys! What do you think about that match? What did you think about that match? But I just wanna quickly mention there on Nightshade actually. No memes here. It could have gone either way, and I understand why the match went that long. So the issue there for both of our players is they really couldn't really tell how their upgrades would fare against each other. They had similar comps, they had similar styles, and similar ways to start going for the concave, but it just was a situation where they couldn't really gauge it properly. And when Artanisph was put on down, there's a disadvantage. Garchuu still looked like he was feeling that it will be situations wherein that if he pushes, that if he really commits, he will get punished the same way as Artanisph. So while Garchuu was playing it slow and steady, Artanis was trying to come on back, but you would really keep a high eye out on the army count for so long, wherein Artanis was just stuck all the way down at the 100 count. It just never really panned out to go higher because of the fact that Garchuu would go for the attack, but it will only really poke against his opponent. He wouldn't really go for it. There was so much hesitation, even trying to take down a base that he already basically secured. And this is sometimes what happens, especially onto the Diamond and Under bracket, when people aren't too experienced at closing out games and they're not really able to read things out. It could have gone either way, and for both players, they didn't want to risk it. They didn't want to lose like that. And in the end, we got a very long match there on a Nightshade. Not gonna lie, I feel like that we just need a hard reset on my side, on everyone's side, just to keep the momentum and the tempo, as well as the, what do you say, so I'll keep things happy. So joining me right now out of nowhere is Mr. Mizzle. I just want to ask you one real question, so show up on stream real quick. Mizzle, say something. Say hi to the chat. Say hi to the chat. Okay, so Mizzle, first things first, why are you so great? Why do you make such a great tournament like this?
Small tournament like this one.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. Mizzle just basically giving us a little bit of information. He's just saying that he's like really happy that people are joining, just giving something to do. And Mizzle, I have a question for you. So I was the only one that heard your answer earlier on, so quickly recap that one. But what do you think about that game? What do you think about that game? Are you ready for another PvP showdown?
I got Protossed.
Okay, we got all Protoss. We all got Protoss. And Basta, you're with me. We'll keep going.
I'm with you.
Yeah. You're with me. Okay, now shut up.
Like 5 hours. Let's go.
Now shut up and let me cast again. Thank you. Thank you for the support, guys. Thank you for the support. And we are gonna go into game number 3 of Artanisph and Garchuu. Here we go with our map results so far, as we are ticking on down into our next map, and that is going to be Everdream LE. So hopefully now here on Everdream, it's gonna be a very different show. We are gonna see something more potent, something that really allows these two teams to just destroy one another and be sure that they are gonna be the ones victorious. Whoever wins this one will be the one moving on to face off against the other Protoss in the grand finals of David Bane. And whoever loses is going to be going home. No prize for 3rd and 4th, unfortunately. And that is going to be the show for them. But it's now time to get into this match between my 2 favorite players of the tournament so far. Let's get it on. Let's get it done. And into Everdream we go. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And here we are on Everdream. You know what else was in Everdream? Me last match. I was probably dreaming of a time for that match to end. For the time that the Colossi to just cook everything up, for Disruptors to show up, or High Templar with Psy Storms. And I feel like that's a little bit of the missing part of the puzzle here, between Artanisph and Garchuu. Thinking about it, I stood up real quick, in a little break, washed my face, and just had that, just snapped on me. That AoE, which is really missing from that matchup, and it really goes to show how long those clashes went on in the first place. Now, if Garchuu was able to mix up those Disruptors, or maybe just mix up some High Temp, could have been a different show of Force. It could have ended up earlier, but he had the right idea. Whipping out the Colossi first, forced Artanisph to do the same, but at the same time, he had the advantage with the numbers, with the army count that we talked about earlier on. And honestly, that was Garchu's game from the get-go. Like, I feel like if Garchuu was just a little more confident, he could have taken that match 10-15 minutes beforehand. But it really is just a little bit of experience there in the first place. Anyway though, I hope you guys are still alive in the stream because we are trying to stay alive as well into this next matchup. As we are still gonna be into the same matchup we are before the small little break. And in the meantime, we are going to get our 2 gates, 1 cyber core here from our bottom side Protoss, which we still haven't introduced yet actually. On the bottom left of Everdream, it is the Aqua Protoss of Artanisph. And his opponents, right here, right now, on the top right of Everdream, both of these players, 1 map apiece. And we have called him the Survivor, we have called him the 2-1 God. Well, calling him that one now. It is gonna be the red Protoss, as I said, of Garchuu, looking to survive yet again. And he was able to do so at the detriment of all of us watching this tournament. So that is basically, guys, a lesson in timings and a lesson of confidence there on Nightshade. But here this time, Evergame gonna be a little bit off some variance. Because I already feel the tempo has picked on up. Neither player wants to go for a long haul fight like that. None of this action in this in this scenario, just they have drained themselves. They have drained everyone around them. They are literally the antithesis of a generator right now, and they can feel the fatigue after a match like that. No one would not feel tired after a match like that, especially with nothing doing. But hey, we'll see what Garchuu is gonna be bringing to the table. As here comes the Adepts now. Look for the scouts, but the Shades can't see anything whatsoever. Scouting force right here, right now, of the Sentries, as well as the Stalkers, and an Oracle right now here for Garchuu in behind. So a very safe star gates all the way onto the main base. And in a scenario like this, they're going to be looking to keep on with the whole keep on with how things are going to go. As the Nexus right now here for Garchuu being built, looking to get a second base up and running. And this is very, very different from what we expect from a PvP. You don't feel confident going for that second base unless you do have that facility, unless you have an Immortal ready to try and defend. And honestly, with Garchuu sending in these Oracles, it might be a big game changer. How many Stalkers does Artanisph have? He only has 3. And with some really good micros, Garchuu can really take the advantage onto this map. Sending these Oracles right now onto the south hand side, trying to get in position, trying to look into the sight lines of the opposition. And here we go already. We do have a shield battery trying to come online, as there we go with the Oracle timing. Seems like Artanisph just expecting something to come. Sentries are already in position with the Stalkers as well, and that is just basically gonna be to the detriment of the Oracles right there, right then. But speaking of the Oracles right now, into the front line we go. Another Stalker marked on in, the other Oracle quite low already. And a good read there from Artanisph. He was expecting something else, he was expecting something to come. And since he was able to scout around in terms of the ground game without any proxy, he was like, okay, this has to be something flying into me at high speed. So the Oracle, all the way from the main base, basically gonna be read there by the side of Artanisph. And right now he is gonna be looking to do it again. Stalker's already in position. On patrol, having to be. It's Paw Patrol right here, right now, but without paws, it's gonna be just the stubby little legs of the Stalkers instead. Still the Oracles right now, still floating on around. And how will the transition here for Garchuu go on? So he is gonna be looking to focus onto a ground-based composition after that Stargate. No Fleet Beacon, it's all about Immortals here and now. And it seems like to be the mix of the Adepts, the Sentries, and the Immortals in comparison to the Stalker Sentry right now that Artanisph is running. Now, of course, it is a twofold thing. With the Adepts, you can be very, very cheeky, but it's more of a one-way trip. In the meantime, with the Stalkers, it's more about surviving with those blinks and going for aggressive picks along the way. Speaking of picks, though, we'll see how this is going to pan out as the Oracles right now charging on into that main base, looking for a few more drones, a few more probes rather, just trying to vaporize them as much as possible. The green beams right now, just cooking them up. It's not just Green Eggs and Sam right here, Mr. Sam. It is just gonna be the green beam getting those kills and looking pretty mean all throughout. Anyway, +1 now coming online. Revelation, though, we'll see whatever's going on. Garchuu just wants to know what's up in Artanisp's hood. And in this instance, a lot of upgrades yet again from these two players. Guys? Why? Okay, so all I can think right now is Artanisph needs one for high temp, and you gotta get a second one for Archon. But it really goes to show that this is absolute fatigue, but just kicking in right now. And no matter who wins here, I feel like that Mr. Bane waiting at the final is gonna have a pretty significant advantage of just how tired these two players are. Cause he did it! He didn't cancel, he didn't notice. It is 2 Templar Archives. It's actually happened. The madman. The absolute madman. That's 200 gas being wasted, 400 gas overall. And now it's time for some more immortals right here, right now. Artanisph again behind on that army count. A little head though onto the workers. But we'll see how this is gonna work on into the future. Revelation yet again. Seeing everything going on onto that natural. Very, very important to get that kind of information. And with all of that happening as well, it is very, very safe for Garchuu to get more of those upgrades instead. +2 now on the ground rep free. Can't go wrong with some armor as well. +2 coming with that. And the only thing that these oracles are supposed to be really doing is to rain havoc onto those worker counts, those farms basically, and then have an audience or two with the ruling parties. But hey, we'll see how the oracles right now are going to be trying to get on the way as we see a little bit of a transition. In the meantime, on to the main base we go again. It's like 2 dragonflies just flying around, a little bit of a piece of flame. And here we go with the revelation again. It's not even about lethality right now, it's just trying to see what is going on. But hey, they're still keeping things up, and in the meantime, it's Garchuu right now moving on over to try and get the expansion onto the third side. Still though, Chrono boosting out 2 upgrades are gonna be a good one here, looking to keep on with the pressure and as well as keeping on with the momentum that he had in the first place. And in the meantime, here we go with Pylon set on up yet again, just to keep the power going. Seems like Garchuu seeing a few highlights that really just blew up those forges in the first place. And here comes Artanisph going for the brawl, going for the fight, going for the attack. It's these zealots, these immortals, these sentries, and these archons look to work together. And high temp in behind. Still no side storm. Even with 2 Templar archives, you're not getting side storm, Artanis. Okay, we'll take it as it is. And archon's gonna be built in behind instead. Scouting Phoenix now, gonna get spotted. Stasis wards in position. And it's gonna be an interesting one. Who steps on what first? And who's gonna get stunned in the first place? It's time for the mirages. It's time for the hallucinations. And the stasis ward's gonna connect onto the archons out in front. This is gonna be looking good here for Garchuu so far because he can focus fire on the things in the back line. These archons just gonna get surrounded as well. And this is Artanisph losing everything. He's gonna go for the fight. He's trying to keep things up in terms of reinforcements. Looking for a save though. Looking to try and get something back. Looking to go home, but the Archons now waking on up from their slumber, from their stasis, but they have realized they haven't left their spot. It isn't a situation that they have gone into hypersleep in hyperspace. And Artanisph. Shoutouts to Cranky Ducklings with the raid. They have just recently finished their GPO, and I'm just gonna can't pick up my Archons. You cannot pick up your Archons. They got stasis for some reason, and it's just not happening. Really goes to show though just how it was on with that stasis ward. But yeah, shoutouts to the raid there from the Cranky Dumpling Squad. As I was trying to say, they just recently finished their weekly GPO. And who won that one? Actually, I'm just gonna check real quick who won that one. I can't really check, so you guys can just tell me in the chats. Because this is Garchuu. He had the advantage there. He had the defender's advantage. He got the peak. He got the first scope in, and he was just able to set up the traps to really destroy the opposition. But hey, Warp Prism right here, right now, yet again. And Garchuu, it's the same thing one more time. He won the fight, but he's not going for it. It feels like he's playing super passively right now, to a fault. Because Artanisph is feeling confident enough to go for an attack yet again. He is at a disadvantage because Garchuu is just a 2-2 in this scenario. And hey, if it works, I guess it works, but we might be here for a long haul yet again. Artanisph though, Having a lot of these Archons right now. Archon Zealot, a pretty classic composition. Gonna be looking for the brawl yet again. Immortal right now going for the shot out in front. We still see the Warp Prism looking to go around the map as much as possible. A few probes and Zealots loaded as well just to get the scouting information that they need. Trying to check out how those flanks work. And speaking of the flank right now, does Artanisph know this is coming? He's gonna look for an opportunity there. Getting the warp cycle onto the main base. But Garchuu pouncing onto the bulk, advancing onto what really matters. In the meantime, Zealots right now cleaving up that main base of Garchuu. Artanisph is trying to go for a fight on two fronts, but he's a little too afraid to keep things up into this front line and losing Archons for free. Highly unfortunate with this one, and this is the Archons right now on the north hand side. More and more of that warp on in though. High Templar turned into Archons yet again. In the meantime, it's just nothing really being built here by either sides. It's only Artanisph looking for the replenish, but Garchuu is looking very confident to go for the cycle here and now. More high temp coming our way. Zealot's gonna be into the fray as well, and it is truly gonna be the Kala in full force right here, right now. And here on Everdream, it gets a little risky when you get to that third because it's so easy to go for the attack. But this little rock does help you out, but when you're not set on up in the first place, it's an easy walk on over. Here comes Garchuu now pushing on in Artanisph. In the meantime, trying to defend with the Archons in the front line, but the Zealot looks very confused, doesn't really know where to go, shuffling on around in behind, and that is the army now getting taken down. This has to be it. Garchuu has done it again, this time though, at an earlier count, at an earlier time. Thank you, Garchuu. Thank you for finishing this fight earlier on. 13 minutes in, very acceptable, and he has truly survived the rigorous test of this tournament to take the win 2-1 and secure a slot in the grand finals. Thank you, Garchuu. Thank you for doing this properly this time. I'm so happy. Mizzle, I need you. Are you happy too? Are you happy right now, Mizzle? We've got it. We did it. Yeah, we did it.
Finally.
And we are gonna go. It's not
another
over.
PvP.
Wait, what are you talking about? It's not over. We still got a grand finals to go, and let's go back to me. You know, it's karamay, guys, brothers in this flight against long games. But there you go. That is the way to secure something. And Garchuu, as soon as the state swords really pop, that has game set match. That has to be sure. But it feels like Garchuu is the type of player who isn't as confident on his pushes in matchups in that manner. So he's going to be looking to build on that just a little more in the future. But he still has one more test in front of him. That is going to be David Bane. He already has a cool name, and he has been waiting for quite a while for the series to end. So he had to, he had a little time to really rest in the first place, just watch what was going on, and at the same time just look and see what the potential weaknesses of the two players are. But anyway, guys, this is gonna be our grand finals coming your way very soon. We are just gonna be quickly going through our map mans and picks. We are gonna be moving into the last parts of our tournament. But congratulations to both our players, Garchuu and David Payne. They are already secured some money for this tournament, and this is gonna be a 2,000 peso for the winner, which is 40 bucks for the USD, and 700 for the second place, which is around 14. Big shoutouts, of course, to our sponsors, AKG Games.ph for the sponsorship, matching and multiplying on the community fund that we were able to make. DLS Mizzle for the overlays for the organization, as well as just being here with me for those games, and you can count me in for the hosting and the like. Shout out super as well to individual players and individuals who helped us out in the funding. Super Malls, Bayagster, as well as Paul. Super Malls competing in Gold to Diamond brackets did get a pretty solid round 3 placing, if I remember correctly. Bayagster has been helping on out in terms of marshalling, and Paul, of course, has been such a good guy in the community, helping out a few players here and there, and hope we see him sometime soon into the future in a Masters bracket. But hey, we are not done yet, ladies and gents. We are still gonna be going into another match, and this is the SCPH Quarantine Tournament number 2, We will be right back. We will just set things up. We will be getting things on. And we will go into our grand finals in just a bit. Stick around. You won't want to miss another... What was that match? PvP? Yes, PvP. Let's go.